Right now at 6, investigators discover a vehicle linked to an I-44 death investigation.
And we've got some scattered showers and thunderstorms out there. Mostly cloudy skies to start, and it's going to be very hot today. Look at that forecast, get you out the door coming up.
Plus, we speak with the local election officials about what voters need to know about write-in candidates.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6 a.m. I'm Elise Noe.
I think you mean ahoy, matey. Welcome into the KOAM Morning News. It's National Talk Like a Pirate Day. And this is the closest thing.
Yep.
See, look at these.
Look at
the closest things to swords that we've got around here are these kebab skewers. And they do a very good job. I don't recommend it at home.
No.
We're professionals.
Of course, yes.
Not trained by any means.
We've been training. No, we've been training all week.
That's true. Yeah,
You know?
no, absolutely.
Go walk the plank.
I'm going to go walk the plank. I'm actually going to walk off of my plank and over to the green screen, and I'm going to talk to you about what we've got going on this morning. Take a quick look outside with our camera downtown Pittsburgh, and we've got mostly cloudy skies out there. Pittsburgh is currently dry. We are also dry from our camera at 7th and Range Line in Joplin, though we had a few light showers this morning. Not bad either from the MoDOT camera at 20th and Range Line. Let's get right into the Skywatch storm trackers. Here's what we want to talk about. We got this thunderstorm. This one was moving northeast with a complex. It has almost turned due east, and it's also starting to feed some energy into these showers that initially weren't much, but we're starting to see heavier rain. Now, no thunderstorm activity yet, but we've got much heavier rain now than we did before. West of Fredonia to the east of Parsons, we got some moderate rain, heavier rain back north of Independence, in between Independence and Mountain Valley. We got a little shower that's southwest of Erie. And we've got this guy. It's not strong, not severe, but some heavy rain and quite a bit of lightning out there, so do be cautious with that lightning. And it is continuing to travel almost due east, paralleling 54, so Yates Center, it is coming up next for you, probably in about the next 10 to 15 minutes. And then we've had a few isolated showers in Missouri, but not much has really managed to get going out of that activity. This should begin to die out over the next few hours, but at least for now, it's bringing some rain chances to us out there. Future tracks showing where it is by noon as it fizzles out. And then after that, we are going to be partly cloudy. We're going to be hot. We're going to be muggy. We're going to be uncomfortable. And then after 6, we get another round of showers and storms across parts of Kansas and Oklahoma. And those could be strong to low grade severe. We do have a low hail risk across a good portion of the area north of I-44. And then we have an elevated wind risk into southeastern Kansas. So we're looking at winds that could be 60, 70 miles an hour. We'll talk about all of that here on the full forecast in just a few more minutes. Temperatures well above normal, should be the upper 50s. We're at 74 Joplin, 73 in Pittsburgh. We do have some cooler temperatures to the southeast, some upper 60s in parts of southwest Missouri, northeast Oklahoma, but the majority of us low, mid, and upper 70s out there. As kids get on the bus today, I'm talking low 70s, a few isolated showers and storms out there, mainly in southeastern Kansas. South breeze at about 5 to 10. Winds will start gusting out of the south upwards of 20, partly cloudy and hot when that bus brings them home, about 93. Highs today, low to mid 90s. Heat index values in between storm chances, close to 100 degrees, so make sure you're staying hydrated out there. We're going to talk about this heat. We're going to talk about the storms. We're going to talk about that cold front. A lot to go over in the full forecast, and that's coming up here in a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, thanks, Chris. Well, a new development in the investigation of a man found dead near Interstate 44. Authorities now have the car they had sought in the case. Someone had discovered the body in a ditch along the interstate near Joplin's Prigmore Street exit late Monday afternoon, then notified law officers. Now, authorities identified the man as 63-year-old Jesse Gilmore from Oklahoma. Investigators had issued a public notice that they were seeking a specific car in connection with that case and gave the car's description and Oklahoma license number. Now, authorities say they have recovered that car in Independence, Missouri. They're still not giving details on the suspected cause of death or how the car might be connected to the case. A federal jury convicts a Joplin man and an Arkansas man of kidnapping a woman and holding her in a hotel room in Neosho, Missouri. The jury found both 51-year-old Freddie Tilton of Joplin and 39-year-old Alvin Boyer of Rogers, Arkansas, guilty of kidnapping and conspiracy to commit kidnapping. Authorities say Tilton beat and choked the woman in a room at the Boone Slick Lodge in Neosho. It was rented for Tilton by Boyer. Now, sentencing will come at a later date, and you can read more about the case on our website. That's KOAMnewsnow.com. And to, of course, be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, you can download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search for the KOAM News app. Well, OSHA, the federal agency that sets and enforces standards for workplace conditions, is pulling back on its plans for new regulations on fire departments. Now, originally, OSHA planned to make a number of changes, including requiring fire trucks be no more than 15 years old. But the proposal drew concerns from firefighters across the country, as well as some lawmakers concerned about the financial burden it would put on volunteer departments. OSHA now says it's reevaluating the proposed changes. Well, Freeman Health System announces its new president and CEO. Tom Keller has served as president and CEO of Ozarks Healthcare in West Plains, Missouri for more than a decade. Before joining Ozarks Healthcare in 2014, Keller served as chief operating officer of St. Anthony Shawnee Hospital in Oklahoma and as CEO of West Valley Hospital and Phoenix Memorial Hospital in the Phoenix area. On December 1st, Keller will take the reins at Freeman from Paula Baker, who announced her retirement earlier this year. Baker served in the position for 13 years. Well, Freeman Health System yesterday celebrated its dialysis patients. They kicked off patient engagement days for the 11th year. Now, this year's event is themed Magical Care on the Yellow Brick Road to Health. The event is designed to empower hundreds of dialysis patients to better inform them of their healthcare options as they navigate the stress of the treatment.
It's a departure from a normal day. It's just, you know, we get to dress silly, we get to celebrate, we get to, you know, just kind of hang out with our patients in a more social setting than just a strictly clinical dialysis clinic setting.
The event returns today from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Freeman East Hospital's conference rooms. With the November election less than 2 months away, voters across the 4 states are looking at who the candidates are. But voters aren't necessarily limited to just who's listed on the ballots. Now, they have the option to write in a candidate for an elected position, whether it be local, state, or national. A write-in candidate is someone voters can put down whose name does not appear on a printed ballot. But in states like Missouri and Kansas, people who want to be considered for write-in candidate have to pre-register ahead of the election. Without it, any votes for them don't count.
So Donald Duck usually doesn't count. Minnie Mouse doesn't count. We have very creative voters sometimes that put those things in. But they might write in a name that hasn't certified, and that would be probably disappointing to them if they didn't understand how that actually worked.
9 states do not allow write-in candidates, and those states include Oklahoma and Arkansas. And that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News. A new report shows the U.S. ranks last on key health care measures compared with other high-income nations. Plus, the nation's largest union declined to endorse a candidate for the first time since 1996. And Chris Warner returns with another look at your Thursday forecast. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. I'll be right back, but first, it's Talk Like a Pirate Day. Here's a live look of a ship in Central City, Missouri. Well, topping Nation Watch this morning. The United States ranks last when it comes to key healthcare measures compared with other high-income nations around the world. According to a new report by the Commonwealth Fund, a research group, Americans are sicker, have lower life expectancies, and struggle to afford essential health care. Researchers compared the U.S. to 9 other high-income countries. They noted people living in the U.S. face the most avoidable deaths. The U.S. also had the highest rates of excess health deaths related to the COVID-19 pandemic for people younger than 75. In order to improve healthcare, researchers listed a few options. The group said the U.S. can expand insurance coverage and reduce complexities of insurance plans. Well, immigration was a major focus for former President Donald Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris yesterday, with both campaigning on the East Coast. It comes as one of the nation's largest unions declined to endorse a candidate for the first time since 1996. Jared Hill has more from New York.
Amid heightened security yesterday, former President Donald Trump rallied in Long Island, a must-win district for House Republicans in a deeply blue state.
We can win New York.
Trump vowed to reverse a cap on the state and local tax deduction known as SALT, a cap he created with his 2017 tax cuts law. The former president also promised to visit 2 cities in Ohio and Colorado, claiming they're under siege by migrants.
They're destroying our country. We're getting them out.
In Washington, Vice President Kamala Harris slammed Trump's immigration proposals at an event for the Congressional Hispanic Caucus Institute.
They have pledged to carry out the largest deportation, a mass deportation in American history. How's that going to happen? Massive raids?
In a possible blow to the Harris campaign, for the first time since 1996, the Teamsters Union declined to endorse the Democratic presidential nominee, choosing instead to endorse neither candidate. The union released internal polling showing more members support Trump.
It's a great honor. They're not going to endorse the Democrats.
But multiple local chapters of Teamsters have endorsed Harris, including in Michigan.
We can't allow Donald Trump to become president.
Meanwhile, the FBI says Iranian hackers stole information from the Trump campaign and sent it unsolicited to the Biden campaign before the president dropped out. A former Biden campaign official tells CBS News that material was not used. Jared Hill, CBS News.
Now, the Trump campaign has accused Iran of trying to influence the election, though federal officials say there's no evidence that the recipients of the stolen material responded. Today, the former president will attend an event in Washington, D.C. Vice President Harris will appear with Oprah Winfrey at an event in Michigan later today. And that's a look at some of today's top national stories. Here's Chris with a look at your forecast.
Yeah, we got a few scattered thunderstorms across parts of southeastern Kansas this morning. Nothing strong or severe at this point, but some heavy rain now getting into the Yates Center area just on your back door as it comes out of Greenwood County, and some heavier showers around Fredonia and some thunderstorm activity there as well. Another look at your forecast when we come back.
Well, in Arizona, a 15-year-old soccer player who was recently discovered by recruiters is about to play in an important game. She's headed to the Dominican Republic to make her debut as the Mexico U17 Women's World Cup. Patricio Espinoza spoke to the team about her big opportunity.
On one side, the Arizona sunset, and on the other, a full moon showing up. And in between, young girls, all ages, and full of dreams of one day playing professionally. The game, known around the world as football, here we call it soccer. And tonight, among these girls, one is getting a chance of a lifetime. Maya, you're 17.
I'm 15.
15?
Yeah.
Are you going to go to the World Cup?
Yeah. I'm excited. It's a great feeling.
And how is Anaya getting to the Under-17 World Cup, playing not for her country of birth, the U.S., but for Mexico?
You are a dual citizen.
Yeah.
So you get to represent the United States or Mexico.
Well, my grandma's from Chihuahua, and then so my mom's half Mexican. So then I got the Mexican citizenship.
Anaya has grown up at this club. She looked just like these girls when she started out here. She will not be alone. All of us will be right there alongside of her while she's in the World Cup. Let's give her a round of applause.
She may be strong on the soccer field, but tonight I can see tears in her eyes. After all, this field has been home for the last 10 years.
I think for her it's a dream come true. I mean, she's a player from the time that she was 6. She wanted to be a professional soccer player. And I think she's on the road to playing on the world stage and hopefully accomplishing her dreams.
Who wants to play like that?
Me!
Yes, dreams do come true, but there's more. Anaya is not just playing for her, it seems, know it or not. She's also paving the way for those who follow.
I want to go to the World Cup.
Awesome. What's your name?
Olivia,
Olivia. How old are you, Olivia?
9.
9. Well, good luck. We'll see you in the World Cup.
An amazing accomplishment. Now here's Chris with a quick look at your forecast.
Yeah, we've got a mostly cloudy skies rather for many of us out there. Scattered showers and storms. We'll look at all that when we come back. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 6:22 now on this Thursday morning, and we're starting with the Skywatch Storm Tracker. We've got some showers and thunderstorms across parts of southeastern Kansas. So we're going to start here, where we've got a little light shower southeast of Erie. We've got some rain rolling into Parsons, stretching back toward Thayer. Neodesha, you are currently sandwiched in between some heavier showers out there. Fredonia, this is your second round. You had this little shower go through initially, and now you've got another one. It's actually had it's about 3 or 4 lightning strikes up there. So officially a thunderstorm. Now remember, the lightning is dangerous and deadly whether the storm is strong or severe or not. That does not matter. Neodesha, again, you're sandwiched between some showers and storms. Independence just to your east, so just to the west-northwest of Altamont on 160, we have some other showers out there, and you can see the latest scan. We've been watching this activity. We're not expecting anything severe out of any of this, but there is some heavy rain. This guy up here rolled out of northern Greenwood County, was lifting northeast, has now turned east. Yates Center, it is now rolling into the west sides of your community, and it's traveling right along 54, and you can see the lightning activities actually come down a bit. There were quite a few lightning strikes with this particular cell earlier, but that has kind of let up a bit out there. Just to the east of Verdigris, west of Buffalo, west of 75. So this is that one. It's part of this line that's connecting down toward Fredonia and Neodesha. So expect some heavy rain out there this morning. We've also got here lately just a little shower that's flared up, but we do have enough energy. We are getting a few of these showers and storms. However, they are expected to be out of here by about 11 o'clock noon. And then this evening is when we have our chance for some stronger storms out there. We do have a low wind risk for hail for basically everybody along and north of I-44. We have an elevated wind risk, so 60, 70 mile an hour wind gusts across most of Kansas, and then that low end risk for virtually the rest of the area as we head into this evening. Future track by noon. This is what we're looking at right now on the radar. This is what Future Track says it will be like by noon. So some dying showers. In between all that, we're going to be hot, we're going to be muggy, we're going to be partly cloudy. We're talking heat index values today up to 100. By 6 o'clock or so, we start to see scattered thunderstorms. Now that's the thing. At this point, they look to be scattered. We'll see exactly how it plays out. But either way, as these storms develop and move off to the east, they could be strong to severe out there. And again, with damaging winds as the primary concern. And some of these could continue as isolated storms through the early overnight hours before we start to clear out toward Friday morning. By Friday evening, there's the future track showing at least a possibility of maybe an isolated pop-up shower or storm, but it goes away. And it won't be until Saturday evening that we see another decent round of showers and storms with some meaningful rainfall. So some isolated pop-up showers and storms through most of Saturday. By Saturday evening, and another round of showers and storms begins to roll through. At this point, we don't have any areas highlighted for severe weather going Saturday night into Sunday, but of course we'll keep an eye on all that for you. But as we go overnight into Sunday early morning, here we are at 1 a.m. on Sunday, we've got a lot of showers and storms, mainly in the northern half of our area. So we're at least looking at some meaningful rainfall here and there. A quick look at temperature, 74 in Joplin. You can see those clouds, so we're dealing with mostly cloudy skies. And around the region off to our southeast, so Monette, Cassville, Bentonville, Anderson, Jay, into the upper 60s. The rest of us low, mid, and even upper 70s out there this morning. Going through the morning again, isolated to widely scattered storms like we're seeing now. They'll be dying out by 11. We'll be into the mid 80s by 11 o'clock this morning. Highs today, low to mid 90s. Heat index values up to 100, and that repeats with those heat index values tomorrow. Highs upper 90s. Still hot Saturday, storms into Sunday. After the first day of fall, mid 80s. And then we're looking at least somewhat cooler temperatures for a couple of days next week. Let's check your forecast. We're going to send it over to Elise now with Health Watch.
All right, thanks, Chris. Well, the COVID-19 pandemic had a dramatic impact on opioid overdoses among adolescents. Researchers in Chicago found non-fatal overdoses significantly increased among people between the ages of 12 to 17. Excuse me. At the onset of the pandemic and remain elevated compared to pre-pandemic levels, largely due to fentanyl use at home. Now, the study stresses the need for parents to keep naloxone on hand, the over-the-counter medication that can reverse an opioid overdose. Well, a simple visual cue may prevent healthcare-associated infections in hospitals. That's according to a new study in the American Journal of Infection Control. New researchers found adding a color additive in disinfectant wipes that fades when force and friction is applied on surfaces helped hospital rooms at one Connecticut hospital get about 70% cleaner, reducing the spread of germs from one patient to another. And a survey of drinkers in the UK found some wouldn't mind a nutritional label along with their cocktail. The researchers found just over half of heavier drinkers say calorie labels on alcohol would lead to a change in their drinking habits. The researchers suggest such labels in the UK where they are not currently required could help some drinkers maintain a healthier weight. And that's all get some of today's top health stories. We'll be right back. Right now at 6:30, the Miami School District holds a public meeting to discuss the search for a new superintendent.
And we've got some scattered showers and storms out there this morning, more this evening, and very hot in between. A look at that forecast to get you out the doors coming up.
Plus, how the Neosho, Missouri Recycling Center is giving thrown out books some new life.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6:30. I'm Elise Noe.
And I'm Chris Warner. We are on Thursday, September the 19th. We are almost done with this work week and we are just a few more days away from fall across the area.
Yes.
It's not going to feel like fall, though. At least the next few days. Leading up to it, it is certainly not going to feel like fall.
It's a nice thought, though.
It is.
Yeah.
And just keep those fall thoughts in mind, because it'll help keep you cool. It actually won't, but it'll make you, you'll think it's cooler. Don't you know, you don't want to actually go into the belief that you'll actually be cooler if you think about fall. It doesn't work that way, sadly, but you can feel cooler inside your home thinking about it. Let's start with the look outside, though, because we got some showers and thunderstorms we need to talk about. We're going to go to downtown Pittsburgh, our camera there. We got mostly cloudy skies out there, and that is courtesy of the showers and storms off to our, off to the west. Mostly cloudy skies also from our camera at 7th and Range Line in Joplin. And MoDOT camera 20th and Range Line. Quite a few folks getting their Thursday commute underway out there. So let's look at the Skywatch Storm Tracker. Here's what we've got. Nothing strong, nothing severe, but this storm here has now joined up with some off to its south. So here's what we've got. We got some light showers getting ready to roll into Mound Valley. Parsons, you're getting in on it. Thayer, you're in on it. Neodesha, you're in between a couple of rounds of light showers. Fredonia, though, this is your second little storm this morning. We got some lightning associated with this storm, following right up on 400 through Fredonia, but this one has connected with a storm that's to the north that was in Greenwood County earlier and has continued to lift off to the east. So now Yates Center really getting some heavier rain on the way, and this is again, it's not strong, it's not severe, but this is a good thunderstorm. This is bringing a lot of good rain. Do watch out for the potential for flash flooding. While we don't have any advisories, it's not moving very fast. It is dumping a lot of rain, so just keep that in mind. Of course, remember that lightning. It's dangerous and deadly whether the storm is strong or severe or not. All this activity continue kind of flare up and lift to the east, and Future Track's actually going to show what it thinks is going to be going on by noon. We're going to have some decaying showers entering into southwest Missouri. In between that and this evening, we're going to be hot, muggy, and miserable. And then after 6, another round of showers and storms out there. Some of those could be strong to low-grade severe with some small hail. Biggest concern is wind 60, 70 miles an hour out there. So that's something we'll keep an eye on for you through the day. Right now, most of us into the mid to upper 70s. We have some upper 60s in our southeastern counties, so we should be in the upper 50s across the board, and we are nowhere near that. Kids getting on the bus. Again, some of us, some isolated showers and storms, low 70s, otherwise partly cloudy, and then we'll be partly cloudy, hot when that bus brings them home. South winds gusting to 20, low 90s out there. Highs today, low to mid 90s, and again, in between those storm chances, heat index values up to 100 degrees today. So if you are outside, make sure that you are taking precautions, keeping yourself hydrated. We're going to talk more about these storms. We're going to talk about that cold front. We're going to talk about that heat here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, thanks, Chris. We'll see you soon. Well, the Oklahoma State School Board Association held a focus group meeting last night in the search for the next superintendent of Miami Public Schools. Well, the goal for last night's session at the high school was to get community, staff members, and administrators together to gather vital input about the qualifications they hope to find in a candidate. Now, among those qualifications, someone who is involved in the community, as well as someone who keeps students their #1 focus.
Other challenges that we've faced are just making sure that we can make the most out of our state budgets and looking at enrollments. We need to make sure that our enrollment numbers are going up because our enrollment will tie right back to our financial decisions that we're able to make.
For those who couldn't attend, the district has an online community survey available on the school's website through October 4th. Well, work could begin soon on the demolition of several homes in Fort Scott now that city commissioners have given their approval. Most of the homes being considered for demolition are abandoned and or falling apart. Some city leaders feel these homes bring down the value of surrounding homes.
Having a house where, people flop in the house or use the house for nefarious reasons, or just it being an eyesore would make a person not want to buy a house in that neighborhood.
Well, owners who oppose the demolition of their house will be given a period of time to repair the building. And if they don't, the city could opt to move forward with the demolition process. Well, American Legion Post 35 in Cherokee, Kansas is looking for help honoring a prospective member who died last week. William Joseph Vilmer was on track to become a Legion member before he was killed in a vehicle accident last Wednesday. Now, the Legion wants to add his name to a monument at Pittsburgh's Atkinson Municipal Airport, but the monument is falling apart. Now, the Legion is asking for help fixing the monument in a more permanent way.
So our goal right now is we're trying to reach out to the public and maybe find somebody that has the skill to be able to repair this thing. It's almost 100 years old. So the craftsmanship that was done back then is a lot different than what they do now.
If you'd like to help, you can reach out to American Legion Post 35 in Cherokee. The Recycling Center in Neosho, Missouri is recycling books and not just the pages they're made out of. Over the past few years, the center has created a library for books still in good condition to be taken by anyone who wants them. Diana Howell with the center says people will often come to the center just to pick up books. Howell says this is the center's way of promoting the reuse part of recycling.
It makes me feel good that we're doing a purpose here. We want to give back to the community, and if it's just a book that somebody has spare time to read, I can never keep enough Westerns on the shelf, but it's very satisfying, very fulfilling to do that for people.
Well, this year alone, more than 650 tons of material has been processed by the center. Well, students from all over Southeast Kansas got the chance to discover future opportunities yesterday morning at the Northeast High School's College Career Fair. Hundreds of 7th through 12th grade students attended the fair. Local businesses and vendors were available for students to meet with as they explore future avenues to success.
How we got to know about the stuff so we can do them and what we know about it when we grow up.
Talking to the staff, they're really nice. I like learning about what we're going to learn about and what we could go into.
Well, the fair offered several breakout sessions, including one with our own Tanya Bach. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. We'll hear why General Motors is now selling adapters for its electric vehicle owners. And we have another hot and partly cloudy day today. We'll have what to expect with Chris Warner in the Skywatch Weather Center. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back, but first, it's Talk Like a Pirate Day. Here's a live look of a ship in Central City, Missouri. In Consumer Watch this morning, the Federal Reserve cut its benchmark interest rate by 0.5 percentage point, and that's more than expected. Now, Fed Chairman Jerome Powell said the decision came as the agency predicts that inflation will soon hit its target of 2% and unemployment could tick up slightly to 4.4%. The move will bring down the cost of borrowing, though consumers may not see those effects right away. And General Motors is now selling adapters for Tesla chargers to its electric vehicle owners. The adapters cost $225 each. The Detroit-based car maker says the move will open up Tesla's more than 230,000 charging stations across North America to its customers. Now, GM owners can purchase the adapters through the company's app. And this has been a record-breaking year for air travel in North America. According to a new JD Power study, Minneapolis-St. Paul International Airport ranks highest in customer satisfaction among the mega-sized airports. John Wayne Airport in California's Orange County and Indianapolis International Airport top the list for large and medium-sized airports. Now, JD Power says its survey took into account several criteria like crowd control, prices of food and beverages, and local charm. And that's it for Consumer Watch. Here's Chris with another look at your forecast.
Yeah, we're starting with the Skywatch Storm Tracker out there, and we've got scattered showers and storms across parts of southeastern Kansas. We'll take a well, I do believe that the battery has finally given up the ghost in this little remote here. No, I don't know what's going on with it. Well, let's just take a better look at some of these showers and storms. We'll do it the old-fashioned way with the keyboard. We do have some heavier rain now into the Thayer area, light showers north of Parsons as well, and Neodesha, Fredonia, just getting out of some heavier rain. And that storm there that stretches along the 75 corridor actually connected to this one that's now rolling through Yates Center. It is doing so slowly, so do watch out for the possibility of some minor flash flooding out there. And if it holds, it will continue to push east. So eventually Humboldt, Iola, Chanute, Moran will be getting into some of this action with this heavier rain and some lightning. Remember, the lightning is dangerous and deadly whether the storm is strong or severe or not out there. As we take a look down the road on Future Track by noon, expecting these showers to be nothing but a few isolated showers, and as they begin to die out, well, it'll be hot and muggy out there with more storms possible tonight, and some of those could be strong to low-grade severe with some damaging wind gusts and perhaps some small hail out there as well. We'll have another look at your forecast here in just a moment. It's also about time to celebrate birthdays and anniversaries, but first, here's what's happening on CBS Mornings.
I'm Tony Nicole. Coming up on CBS Mornings, the one, the only, Scarlett Johansson will be here. She plays Alita in Transformers 1. We're going to hear her talk about being part of that iconic movie franchise. That is coming up on CBS Mornings.
All right, time for some Thursday birthdays out there. We're going to start with Hadley Joes Whalen celebrating birthday number 1. Happy birthday.
Also celebrating their first birthday in Pittsburgh. A happy birthday to Reedlin O'Banion. It says here, happy birthday from your mama.
And also in Pittsburgh celebrating birthday number 1, Ava Getman. Happy birthday to you, Ava.
And in Fredonia, a happy second birthday to Arthur Hooser.
And in Cherokee, we've got Weston Hobson celebrating birthday number 6. Happy birthday, Weston.
And a happy birthday to Brennan Wilson, turning 14 today. It says here, it's Zach Wilson's son, who's one of our marketing consultants here at KOAM. Happy birthday.
And our neighbor in Crestline, Brittany Dagonia, celebrating birthday number 16. A very happy birthday to you, Brittany.
And over in Girard, a happy 18th birthday to Josh Helton.
And in Pittsburgh, Caleb Red celebrating birthday number 22. It says love, Mom, Dad, and JT.
And over in Erie, a happy 67th birthday to Jim Burns. It says here, love from your wife, Judy, and all of your family.
And in Parsons, Rob and Amy Monty celebrating their 26th wedding anniversary. A very happy anniversary to the Montys.
And a happy birthday to Janice Rennie. It says, happy birthday from your church family.
And our list continues with Dennis Galloway celebrating birthday number 60. Says, happy birthday, Dad. Love you from Kayla, DJ, and the kids.
And in Moran, a happy 84th birthday to Sharon McCauley. It says here her late husband is a 4-state hero William J. McCauley.
And in Lawton, Kansas, Elvira Lathrop celebrating birthday number 91. Happy birthday.
And a happy birthday to Natalie McLaren.
And in Girard, Jerry Dawn Totman celebrating another year wiser as well. All right, for a Thursday, that is a really good list of birthdays and anniversaries, and we love to celebrate these with you. And Elise can tell you how you celebrate with us.
Yes, go ahead and submit those birthdays and anniversaries to birthdays at KOAMnewsnow.com. Be sure to include those photos and messages and to meet the deadline that you see there at the bottom of your screen.
Absolutely. All right, let's talk about what we've got going on weather-wise out there. So Skywatch Storm Tracker, we have this thunderstorm complex now. Initially, we had scattered storms. Now we've just kind of got a complex as it's all kind of merged together out here in the southeastern Kansas. We'll start on the southern portion of it. Thayer getting in on some heavier rain out there. Fredonia, you're just getting out of it. Neodesha, as you are as well. Parsons, you got showers on the north side. You got showers to your west. These will eventually make their way in. Erie, you are up next as well here within the next about 15 minutes or so. Well, we'll head back to the north and west, and I need to adjust this position over a little bit. Yates Center, right in the thick of this. And this also includes a good stretch of 75 from Yates Center down to Buffalo. So if you are traveling out there, watch out for the heavy rain. Of course, with the lightning, make sure you're taking precautions. Lightning's dangerous, deadly. Whether the storm is strong or severe does not matter. But we got a fair amount of lightning down by Buffalo and around the Yates Center area and some heavier rain. Because this is moving slow, well, we don't have any flood advisories. If you know of an area that's prone to some flash flooding, just keep that in mind if you're traveling on 75, 54, going through Yates Center, Buffalo, because it is moving very slowly and it is bringing some much-needed rain, but it's bringing a lot in a short term. We have a little thunder shower starting to develop to the southwest of Iola, and all of this activity moving to the east. So eventually Iola, Moran, Ellsmore, Chanute getting in on this as it continues to lift off to the east. So here's that storm. It got going pretty good by itself in Greenwood County. And as it continued to start turning east-southeast, it began to merge up with scattered storms across southeast Kansas and is now just kind of joined into this thunderstorm complex. We do have some other storms that are developing out to our west. We'll keep an eye on those. Not expecting much out of that activity in our area, but you know Mother Nature. What she wants to do is entirely up to her, no matter what the computers may think. So we'll see exactly what happens with that. No severe weather expected with any of this activity, but that changes as we head into the evening hours. Now at this point, we have a very low tornado risk. As we've mentioned, with severe storms, the tornado threat is never truly zero, but it can be extremely low, and that's where we are today. The bigger concern is going to be with damaging winds. We have a low-end hail risk, so it's essentially following the I-44 corridor and everybody north of that. And then we have an elevated wind risk into most of southeast Kansas. This does also creep into parts of southwest Missouri and northeastern Oklahoma, and then the low risk just about encompasses the rest of the area around that. So our bigger concern, or greater concern rather, is with damaging winds 60, maybe 70 miles an hour. Now there's a couple of variables that I've been looking at in terms of how these storms are going to play out later today. We're going to talk about that. First, this is the future track. This light shower activity around Nevada around noon, that's what we're looking at right now. That's getting ready to roll into Chanute, going through Yates Center as we speak, because it's expected to continue. It's going to just start to die out as it moves off to the east. That's the expectation. That's been the expectation through the morning. We're going to have gusty south winds out there. Everybody else, partly cloudy, hot, and miserable. We're talking heat index values today close to 100 degrees. Some of you may even be a little over 100 degrees out there. Then this evening, we have that boundary approaching. That's going to trigger additional showers and storms across southeast Kansas. This is what I wanted to talk to you about. Right now, Future Track is painting these as scattered thunderstorms out there, and it's expecting them to remain that way. However, looking at some newer information, there's the possibility that we may actually get a line of storms, and that's why that wind risk has gone up. Is some of the data suggests that we might end up with a line of storms that could bring a better chance of those damaging wind gusts across the area. But either way, once we get past 6, these storms will continue to the east into Missouri by 9. A few isolated to scattered storms continuing into parts of the area through, say, about 2 a.m., and then that clears out. And we go into Friday, we're going to be hotter than today, if you can believe that, and still muggy across the area. We're going to talk more about your forecast here in just a moment, as well as the news you need to know. And when we switch over to Fox 14 at 7 a.m., we're going to hear why the city of Nashville is honoring its first female bus driver that worked for the city back in the 70s.
Well, here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. A federal jury convicts a Joplin man and an Arkansas man of kidnapping a woman and holding her in a hotel room in Neosho, Missouri. The jury found 51-year-old Freddie Tilton of Joplin and 39-year-old Alvin Boyer of Rogers, Arkansas, guilty of kidnapping and conspiracy to commit kidnapping. Sentencing will come at a later date. The Oklahoma State School Board Association held a focus group meeting last night in the search for the next superintendent of Miami Public Schools. The goal for last night's session was to get community staff members and administrators to gather vital input about the qualifications they hope to find in a candidate. Freeman Health System announces Tom Keller as its new president and CEO. Keller has served as president and CEO of Ozarks Healthcare in West Plains, Missouri for more than a decade. Keller will take the reins at Freeman on December 1st. And that's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door.
And we've got those scattered storms out there right now across southeastern Kansas. Those will continue, but they'll be in a dying state through the next several hours, and by noon they should be gone. And will be partly cloudy, hot and muggy, low mid-90s, heat index values approaching 100. Then, after 6, we'll see another round of showers and storms developing in Kansas, Oklahoma. Some of these could be strong to severe with damaging winds as the primary concern out there, and they'll continue to roll east across the area through the late evening hours, and by about 2 a.m. they'll be about done. Otherwise, we are in the low to mid 70s. We go into our Friday, hot and muggy again, upper 90s, heat index values at or a pinch above 100. Got that cold front into the weekend. That'll bring more thunderstorm chances. It'll be slightly more widespread Saturday night into Sunday. Not anticipating severe weather at this point, but we will cool back just a little bit.
Well, coming up today at noon, we're making spinach and cheese stromboli in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
And your morning news continues on KOAM with CBS Mornings. Auto insurance rates are skyrocketing, but having a car and something is something most of us need, rather. Coming up on CBS Mornings, tips on how to keep your payments as low as possible.
Or you can switch on over with us on Fox 14, where your only local morning news continues. This morning, we'll hear from organizers of the Joplin School Foundation about the upcoming Hall of Fame banquet.
And Captain William Davis of the Joplin Police Department joins us in the studio to talk about the importance of 911 operators. That's going to wrap it up for us for now, though. We'll see you back here tomorrow at 5.
And we'll see you today at noon.